Good morning, my friends. Welcome to Roger's Reflections on Thursday, January 14th in the year 2021. Today I'm going to continue with my in-depth focus on 1 Corinthians chapter 13, aka the love chapter. And today and tomorrow, I'm going to be actually doing the same set of verses 4 through 7. Today I'm going to be focusing on what love is, and then tomorrow I'll focus on what Paul says love is not. And so you'll hear it both times, but I'm going to focus on one section of that. So chapter 13, verses 4 through 7. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love is not envious or boastful or arrogant or rude. Love does not insist upon its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rather love rejoices in the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. So listen again to the positive attributes of love. Love is patient. Love is kind. We could use some kindness in today's world. Who are you being kind to? Can you be kind to everybody you interact with? Think about that for a second. Who are you? How can you be kind, and how can you be patient? I'm not a big fan of patience. I don't like to be patient. I don't like to have to be patient. But I like it when people are patient with me. And so this goes back to the whole golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So if you want people to be patient and kind to you, then you need to be patient and kind to them. And even if it doesn't matter, I'm fine. If God says we are to love one another. They will know we are Christians by how we love one another. And love is patient, love is kind. So how are we patient to one another? How are we kind to one another? And then it goes on, it says, but love rejoices in the truth. Love does not rejoice in wrongdoing, but rather love rejoices in the truth. How do we combine truth in love? How do we speak truth in love? How do we live out love with truth? That is the question. How do we balance those two? Oftentimes, people choose one or the other. When God says you got to choose both. So how do we choose both? And then it says, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. Love is stable and steadfast. Because God is love, we have the example of love always before us. Never changes, never moves, always there, and that is helpful. Love bears all things, puts up with things, believes all things, believes in people, believes in goodness, believes in God's will, in God's purpose. Hopes all things. Hope is a good thing. Hope is perhaps the best of things. Not just wishful thinking, but hope as in hope in Christ, and endures all things. Love will put up with, endure difficult times for the sake of the relationship. So are you willing to work for the relationship? Because that's what love focuses on, is the relationship. Love of God, love of neighbor, love each other. How can we work through difficulties and maintain love at the same time? I think there are times when we need to let things go. I think there are times when we need to really, really discuss and have a deep, passionate conversations. But then there are times we need to step away. when we get too harsh, when we get too involved, we need to step back and let it cool and remember that the relationship is more important than being right or being wrong. So remember that love is patient, love is kind, love rejoices in the truth, love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. And that, my friends, is good news of great joy. Love never ends. Take care, my friends. We'll talk to you tomorrow.